Welcome to SVGTV News for Wednesday, May 6th, 2015. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, says the Comptroller of the Customs and Excise Department, Granville John, has not breached any customs laws, nor has he compromised his integrity with the importation of a vehicle earlier this year without presenting an invoice. Responding to a question on the issue from a journalist at a media conference on Tuesday at Cabinet Room, Dr. Gonsalves says that while John did give an oral report to the Director General of Finance, Maurice Edwards, he insisted on having a written report. Dr. Gonsalves explained that from the written report it was revealed that the comptroller was forthright in his operations and that he had not infringed any rules.
Having perused all the documentation, he is satisfied that the controller of customs did not breach any customs law, nor did he act in any manner which compromised his integrity. I'm paraphrasing. I took the report and I shared it with the Cabinet in the presence of the Director General. I read the entire report, all the statements, and there were lengthy statements, some of them.
Prime Minister Gonsalves also noted that the Customs Comptroller was not compelled to show the document which transferred the money for the purchase price of the vehicle. He says the report also revealed that John was not aware of the amount of money involved in the transaction. John reportedly used a bill of site to come to the cost, insurance and freight for the vehicle, but it is unclear as to how he was allowed to remove the vehicle from the customs without a delivery, which specifically shows the freight paid. The Prime Minister divulged that the investigation reveals it was a worker at the department who leaked the information and documents to the media, and that the matter would be handled by the Public Service Union.
It is alleged that someone at the customs, a customs officer, provided the initial information to someone in the media, and that has been reported by the authorities at customs. Of course, I don't get involved in matters concerning these internal administrative business. That's for departmental heads and for public service commissions. CPO, Chief Personnel Officer.
And Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is expected to leave the state on Friday to attend two events in Martinique and Guadeloupe on the invitation of the President of the French Republic, François Hollande. On Saturday, May 9th, Prime Minister Gonsalves will attend a regional summit on climate change in Martinique and the inauguration of the Memorial on Slavery in Guadeloupe on Sunday, May 10th. Environmental educator and focal point for climate change in the Ministry of Health, Nyasha Hamilton, will attend the meeting with the Prime Minister in Martinique, while Senator Jomo Thomas will join him in Guadeloupe for the memorial event. President of the National Labour Congress, Joseph Burns Bonady, says while trade unions must work in the interest of workers, they have a clarion call to ensure the overall interest of the country is also looked after. Bonady made this statement while addressing workers gathered at the recently held National Workers' Day rally on May 1st. He says some decisions must be taken to guarantee the overall well-being of the nation.
And I know the topic of discussion right now is whether or not there is going to be a salary increase for public servants, for teachers, for workers generally in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As President of the Labour Congress, we have delivered in the past, all the trade union leaders. When workers received their back pay, we took a decision that in the interest of the country, we would have a so-called wage freeze. And people criticized the labor movement because they had another agenda. But when it came retroactively, and that is what the strength of a labor movement can do.
The trade union activists commended the government on trying to get legislation passed to improve workers' rights and conditions. He, however, highlighted that trade unions have been working to ensure that loopholes on the law books do not adversely affect workers.
We do not have a lot of legislation relating to industrial relations. We are one of the few countries in the whole region that operate on the basis of the strength of the trade union movement. We don't have laws. We have laws dealing with essential services. We have laws dealing with arbitration. We have a hearing officer. If you have a problem, you go to the Department of Labor and it will be sent to a hearing officer. If you're not satisfied, you could appeal. Those things we have. But we do not have a multiplicity of laws like in other countries of the region. And yet, we have been able to have a stable industrial relations climate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, Sir K. Dwight Venner, will address the citizens and residents of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, the ECCU, via radio and television tomorrow on the steps being taken by the ECCB Monetary Council and the Central Bank to address the challenges affecting the ECCU banking system. The address will outline the legislative and other steps being proposed by the Central Bank and agreed to by the Monetary Council to provide for greater protection of depositors and increased regulation of commercial banks in keeping with new international requirements. The governor will also highlight the institutions with which the ECCB has been coordinating to resolve the three main developmental challenges facing the ECCU countries, namely financial stability and development, sustained economic growth, and fiscal and debt consolidation. The address will be aired from 8 p.m. Chief Magistrate Rayshan Brown Matthias this morning chided the police who are attached to districts for not carrying out their duties in a prompt and efficient manner. She spoke out against their action when Desmond Brown, a resident of Lago Height, appeared before her to have a preliminary inquiry concluded but could not do so due to the absence of several prosecution witnesses. It was during such time Chief Prosecutor Adolphus Delpesh stood to his feet and informed the court that during his tenure as a young police officer, he would always look forward to leaving the station to carry out his duties by serving summons to witnesses. In response, the Chief Magistrate said that an honest day's work deserves an honest day's pay. She went on to describe the action of the police as tantamount to worthlessness. In other court news, Jamal Dyer, a 34-year-old driver originally from Layou, now residing in Union Island, was on Tuesday, May 5, 2015, arrested and charged by the police for possession of 5,344 grams of marijuana with intent to supply to another. He was intercepted at the Grenadines Wharf by the police, who were carrying out checks on vehicles and persons entering the gate to the wharf. The court heard that at the time, a vehicle was seen traveling in the area and was signaled to stop. The driver reportedly complied, during which time the marijuana was discovered in a flour bag. Appearing before Chief Magistrate Rayshan Brown Matthias earlier today at the Serious Offense Court, the defendant pleaded guilty to the charge. He was fined $7,300, of which $2,000 was to be paid forthwith or face a one-year jail term. The balance was ordered to be paid by October 30, 2015. In default, an additional 2.5 years would be imposed. As part of efforts to maintain the vegetable production in the Fancy community, a vegetable nursery will be officially opened there tomorrow, May 7th. A launching ceremony will be held at the Fancy Primary School at 2:30 p.m. According to President of the recently formed Fancy Vegetable Farmers Cooperative, FAFCO Group, Marsha Williams, vegetable production in Fancy has been plagued in the past by the unavailability of planting materials due mainly to lack of a vegetable seedling nursery facility in the area. area. Williams said this deficiency has led to little and sometimes no production of vegetables at particular periods of the year. FAVCO was established through a needs assessment done during an agricultural training workshop where the farmers voted unanimously for the vegetable seedling nursery. The group consists of 25 farmers, 9 males and 16 females, and has as its main objective to provide a wide variety of seedlings to farmers at affordable prices throughout the year. Fancy falls within Agricultural District 8 North and constitutes a cadre of farmers who cultivate lands for a livelihood. The feature address at the event will be delivered by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Other speakers include Area Representative Montgomery Daniel, Minister of Social Development Frederick Stevenson, and Minister of Agriculture Soboto Caesar. With a conflict resolution stress management seminar listed as part of activities for VINLEC's Environmental Health and Safety Awareness Month 2015, the company is being told that the benefits of this particular activity will be far-reaching. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the month of activities, Chairman of VINLEC's Board of Directors, lawyer René Batiste, states, "It is always a good reminder to be able to resolve issues at the lowest possible level," noting that the court list of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 2015 has cases down for hearing up to 2019. Additionally, Batiste says as a corporation, it is her hope that staff will seek to help each other in relation to eating habits.
The court introduced in the year 2000 on its rules to resolve issues through mediation. Unfortunately, St. Vincent is at the lowest level of wanting to resolve issues at mediation throughout the Eastern Caribbean. Grenada is at the highest level. While we will do less than 50 cases, Grenada will do 350 cases a year. We are unaware of the cost that is involved because at the moment, through the good offices of the Prime Minister, we have been able to secure 3 judges. So you have criminal assizes a year round. There are 2 judges doing civil cases and 1 extra judge to look at the backlog. So while we're going forward, we're looking at the cases that are behind from the year 2000. Now this case is 15 years ago, sitting in the courts. So I will really sincerely like to recommend the conflict resolution workshop because it will be very important for you as a savior. Of course, if you don't want to save the money, let me know. I'm a lawyer, I work for money.
And Chief Executive Officer of VINLEC, Thornley Myers, told his staff that it is imperative that they do their work correctly the first time and trust the company's rules and regulations. Myers explains that failing to carry out their jobs properly will not only cost the company additional expense, but the entire society.
The track record has shown that there is integrity to what we do. Not only what we do with respect to the public, but what we do with respect to safety and our employees. And also the benevolence of our society, of our organization. We have never left an employee alone, and our record stands for itself. So I want to say to you that you must have trust in your supervisors, in your colleagues, and we must have trust among ourselves to know that what we are doing is in the interest of the company, in the interest of our families. And each year I come to this podium on an event like this, I always refer back to our families. Many of us are breadwinners of our families. Our children depend on us. Extended members of our family rely on us. And therefore, when we come to do our job at work, we must make sure that we do it properly, effectively, because an injury doesn't only put us at risk, but
the St. Vincent and the Grenadines site of the UWI Open Campus has won the Principals Award for Best Department 2011 to 2014. A release from the UWI says the SVG Open Campus site is action and result-oriented and was effective in fulfilling the objectives in their action plan, which reflected the university's strategic plan of 2012 to 2017. The release states that there have been steady increases in online and face-to-face students and in the number of cultural and outreach activities offered to the community. Accepting the award on behalf of the staff of the Open Campus St. Vincent and the Grenadines was Deborah Dalrymple, head of site. The annual Eastern Caribbean Group of Companies, the ECGC National Baking Competition, is set for May 21st at the Methodist Church Hall. The rules of the competition have already been outlined, and as we hear in this report from Sharon Garraway, the event is expected to bring out the creative skills of bakers throughout the country.
Emphasizing the need for originality, taste, flavor, texture, consistency, and presentation, the Eastern Caribbean Group of Companies ECGC National Baking Competition will see 30 participants putting their baking skills to the test. Marketing Manager Rachel Haslam says she is pleased by the passion exhibited by the participants, 6 of whom are students.
The number of entrants has grown, and we felt that it was a good way to bring everyone together and let you know exactly what is expected, especially for those new persons, to let you know what really is expected of you, as it is a little more than just your local tiny baking competition. It has grown.
Marketing Officer Glenda Francois says she is thrilled that the competition gives those operating small to big catering services an opportunity to showcase their talent. She says that each participant has to enter 2 items in the specialty flour and all-purpose flour categories.
It would be about expressing your creativity and improving the standard of your work, what you offer to the public, improving on your business. And I'm sure if you speak with a lot of the participants who have been at this for a while, every year, they've gotten better and better. And even if it has to do with just courage, the courage to do more and to practice more.
Sharing his expertise, one of the judges, Ali Mejahed, says the key to dishing out the winning treat is practice and creativity.
Used to tell me my cake was good, and I know, in a sense, when I started, they were not that great, right? But try to get a panel of friends, right, and have it, try them. Now, when you do this, right, you're going to observe, right, the people who are going to tell you, look, it has too much salt, it has too much this, it has too much that, it's too heavy, I tried this and it was better, whatever. Now, this is how you become better.
Michelle Guy also guided the participants to ensure that the product looks as good as it tastes. She says presentation is also a key factor in attaining the winning title.
I'm not a lover of chocolate, right? But I remember that dish that when it was presented, I said, ooh, right? And in that ooh, I was mentioning it to Ali, but I said I had to taste. And when I tasted, it was, ah, and I had to do it a second time, right? So these are some of the things that we look forward to when we're dealing with the presentation of the dishes.
Bakers are expected to utilize all ECG flour in their execution and will have their ingredients and final products on display in the calendar, which is a collector's item throughout the Caribbean. Sharon Garraway, SVGTV News.
Carnival Beat is up next. With many anticipating that Vincy Mas 2015 will be a carnival to remember, the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, says it will ensure that is so. Chairman of the CDC, Dennis Ambrose, says Vincy Mas 2015 will be etched in the history books as the corporation is preparing to mark in grand style 50 years of Queen of the Bands and 30 years of Miss Caraval.
We have a lot to show for this record. Already we are hearing the early releases of soca and calypso, and they are hot. And I can assure you that there is much more to come. The mass components are busy in their tents making and displaying their numerous costumes for all sections in their band. Please go to the tents, look at the costumes and section, and sign up early so you can get your costume of your choice. And this year the CDC is working together with Flow, and we will take Vincy Mas to the wider Caribbean. This will be a spectacular experience for patrons in the neighboring islands. I believe that this will put them in preparation for the mode next year. If the event is too late, to make travel arrangements to be here for Vinci Mass 2015.
The CDC, Island Network Inc. and Lime are planning to take Vincentian Carnival to the next level this year by putting the right steps in place to bring home more nationals from the diaspora for the festival. These plans were outlined at a media conference earlier this week, where an agreement was signed to increase the participation of the telecommunication company during the season. CEO of Island Network Inc., Herrick Horn, who is partnering with Lime and the Carnival Development Corporation, says that Vincentians can expect bigger and more explosive shows from the network, and says that one of the great benefits to revelers is a reduction in ticket prices.
We are on board with Soca on the Beach, which is on the 28th of June, Warwick, which will be seeing foreign acts like Fair Lions and her band, and top local acts like Fireman Hooper, who will be headlining the local acts. We have Soca Swing, which is the first major show for Carnival, which will be on the 31st of May at Victoria Park. And the third event will be seeing Sunrise, which is on the 3rd of July, Friday the 3rd of July, which is a breakfast event. Starts like 11 p.m. on Friday night and goes until limited time only. For $100, take you to all these events on Carnival Monday. $100. That's available from this Thursday outside Lime. It's limited. Sponsorship of the Lime Soca Dance. It's an ongoing ritual by now with Lime and Island Network. And this year we at it again.
And head of marketing and promotions at Lime, Nicola Williams, says when Carnival fans go to the Lime Viewers' Choice Facebook page to give their opinions on their favorite artists and t-shirt bands, carnival shows and everything carnival, each day for the entire season, a lucky winner will be selected to receive a prize.
You're going to be able to win lots of prizes, and of course our award ceremony comes just after that. So this is where you go to get your voice heard. If you like a soca artist, if you like a mass band, if you like somebody, they're going to get recognized. We had an actual award ceremony, and I must say that the most exciting awardee was from Network. I can't even remember my friend's name, but she won the hottest band on the road that Carnival Monday. We're the biggest, but she got the hottest. So you know, it was really exciting, and persons can look forward to more of that. And the categories are amazing this year. So go on, like the Lime Viewers' Choice Facebook page. You have to like it to be in it, and you have to get on there, make your voice heard, and their daily prizes every day. They're winners.